The mighty Mississippi. We have come through the arches in St. Louis for Week 5 of the Arena Football League on the Deuce. The expansion St. Louis Stampede are off to a 4-0 start due to the efforts of Darrell Hammond and its receiving counterpart, Marcus Badgett. Multi-dimensional offensively, he's part of a terrific Terrapin trio. For the Milwaukee Mustangs, Gary Compton is their best all-around receiver. 5 touchdowns on the year. And Todd Hamill is the Mustang leader, a quiet killer looking to avoid a stampede tonight. We welcome you inside tonight's venue. We are in the Kiel Center in St. Louis, Missouri. This is Week 5 of the AFL on the Deuce. Our matchup tonight, the Milwaukee Mustangs and the St. Louis Stampede, both members of the American Conference Central Division. St. Louis a perfect 4-0, Milwaukee 1-3. As we take a look at tonight's headlines for this contest in Week 5, I must mention the Stampede of St. Louis, the first ever expansion team in Arena Football League history to open up with a 4-0 record, and the Mustangs looking for their second win, not only of this year, but of their existence in the AFL.
Undefeated.
And the St. Louis Stampede back deep is number 5, and that is Terrence Barber. 9 kickoff returns, as long 45 yards on the season. And a kick with Kenny Stucker, and we are underway here at the Kiel Center in St. Louis, Arena Football League Week 5. Played off the net by Barber. Barber up on the near side and out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. There's the quarterback we spoke of, John Kaleo, number 3, 6 foot, 200-pounder in his 3rd year, a member of the Maryland Terrapins, and this year against Milwaukee. What a game he had 2 weeks ago. 4 touchdowns, just 1 interception, threw for over 300 yards.
About last week, 26 of 39, 291 yards, 5 touchdowns.
And Kaleo and the Stampede will start 1st and 10 on the 18-yard line. Kaleo, quick hit to number 7, and that is Darrell Hammond.
Boy, Darrell Hammond, you can't find anybody in this organization that just doesn't give him the ultimate superlatives. They think this guy can play with like a Barry Wagner in this league.
The defensive setup for the Mustangs, Benson, Berry, and Jarvis up front, Lacombe, Compton, and then James, Harper, and Plummer, as James and Plummer are the defensive specialists. And what a career Bruce Plummer had, over 50 career NFL appearances.
You will like him a lot. He's the hammer.
2nd down now, Kaleo. And the first down yardage is good. The reception made by Terrence Barber, the 2nd-year player out of Florida.
Like Kenny Harper lined up on the inside position. One of the things that Will McClay, defensive coordinator for the Mustangs, had to do was change things up. And you're going to see some new looks out of this Mustang defense.
22 on quick, ready?
And the St. Louis Stampede off to a great start. 4-0, as I mentioned, the first ever expansion team to open an AFL season with a 4-0 record. Fumbled football, it hits the turf, and let's see who picks it up. Ball is still being worked for, and I think indeed the Milwaukee Mustangs have picked up the fumble out of the hands of number 7, Darrell Hammond.
Turnovers are key. You definitely want to be able to hold serve, but this is a play where, you know, in arena football, you throw the ball 75–80% of the time. You do want to mix up the runs. This is one case where a blunder hurts you early at home.
Early turnover by St. Louis. Back after this. Tonight's Arena Football League game is brought to you by Pep Boys. For quality parts, accessories, and service, come to Pep Boys, America's automotive supercenter. Early turnover, the handoff to number 7, Darrell Hammond, and he loses the handle. Never did gather the football.
You make a good point, Mike. Just a bad exchange. There he's scrambling for it. Papadero tries to get to it and just doesn't do it. This is really good for the Mustangs. They just got their first win a week ago, folks, and now they got a football on a turnover.
Well, in talking to their head coach, Michael Trigg, yesterday, he said, we must take some chances tonight, so let's see how open they are offensively. They're going for the big hits early on. The quarterback is Todd Hamill. He goes long, Compton wide open, touchdown. We must take some chances. We must go deep early. We must score on our first possession.
Boy, Shakur, he falls down. The turf somewhat grabbed him, but you called it. gutsy call, take some chances, and try to go up top. This is a classic play in arena football. A read with the inside receiver. Compton now turns it up. See, now you got to find the football. He does that and scores.
He is now the leader, continues to be, with 6 touchdowns on the year on just 16 total receptions. And what a good start for the Milwaukee Mustangs as they look to make it 7-0 on the attempted PAT by number 8, Kenny Stucker. And it's blocked and knocked down. In there untouched was number 99, the Boston Brawler, Fran Pasadero, but there is a flag on the play.
Let's make sure Pasadero didn't take the outside route. Is it illegal in arena football to go outside rushing a kick? If so, you'll have to bring it back.
Hello.
Jack Baker.
That's exactly what happened.
Yep.
You cannot take an outside approach in arena football.
It looked too easy, didn't it, partner?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it's fine.
And so they'll move it halfway, the distance to the goal line.
34 loaded.
It'll be interesting to see the decision here. Do you kick it again or go for 2? And indeed, Milwaukee will go for 2.
Oh, you want to try to punch it?
Yeah.
Got a guy like Brad Lacombe in that backfield. That back.
And it's going to be a keeper. Hamill did not get it. Hamill stops short. A good defensive play made by number 7. And that is Darrell Hammond. 6-0 Mustangs on the quick hit to Gary Compton. We're underway. Arena football on the Deuce. The early lead belongs to the Mustangs of Milwaukee, and there you see the legendary Earl Bruce. Last year, he was in the AFL with Cleveland, and Michael Trigg has been a guy who has been around this league for a long time. 2-time Arena Bowl champion quarterback for the Detroit Drive.
Had a lot of action with his club in Fort Worth a year ago. I mean, this guy, again, he understands arena football.
Stay in bounds, stay in
Played
bounds.
deep in the end zone. Picked up on the side by number 5, Terrence Barber, and a whistle. And I think Barber may have stepped out of bounds. Is that the call, Doc?
He may have hit the orange stripe or hit the dasher board out of bounds. The ball, his momentum carried him to it.
Milwaukee scoring drive, just one play. It goes 33 yards and takes exactly 5 seconds. Gary Compton with the touchdown reception.
And the significance on it is that they cash in on a turnover. Somebody makes a mistake, you make them pay.
And as you and I talked about earlier, when we discussed these two teams, Milwaukee wants to get greedy now. They've got 1 victory in the books, and they know tonight is a big game with St. Louis off to that 4-0 start. They do not want to fall 4 games back in the standings. Kaleo, double pumps, goes up top, moving ahead of the play and getting brought down from behind by Gary Plummer. Number 8 on the reception, Marcus Badgett, the Maryland teammate of the quarterback, John Kaleo.
They're just hooking up. They've done that 1,000 times inside read. Now Badgett is back. Now that you see what's give you an indication of what Marcus Badgett is able to do. Kaleo here at the quarterback spot. Now watch March. He's going to come downfield, kind of settle in, work his way right there. See that over and arm over gets him open. Now he finds the ball right down the pipe. Boy, that's good execution.
Badgett getting the step and getting a gain of 28 yards. Football spotted on the 17. Kaleo, the quick hit on the far side, and it's complete to Darrell Hammond. Here you see the effectiveness of a John Kaleo also. He's so good with that quick drop, firing to both sides, and he will use all his weapons with equal efficiency.
Well, you got to get the ball back in Hammond's hands quick. When a great player has a bobble, get it back to him quick so he can get back in the zone.
Darrell Hammond, 8 catches, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns 2 weeks ago against these very Mustangs. The flip back, moving around the outside into the 6-yard line. The ball carrier was number 5, Terrence Barber.
Barber's a good one. He loves to run the football. He really does. Young man out of Florida in his 2nd season. And again, you know that Coach Bruce will run the football.
Take a listen to John Kaleo as he works the huddle.
Hey, let's go. Punching in right here. Let's go. Rip, rocket. 25 on quick. Ready?
First down for the St. Louis Stampede as they try to equal us at 6 apiece. Kaleo from the 5-yard line. The handoff goes for the touchdown. Darrell Hammond, the ball carrier. Hammond gets the first score of the night for St. Louis.
Well, that's what they were trying to get accomplished on the fumble. And you know, you come back, you run it opposite side, confidence builder, and St. Louis is right back in this ball game. In arena football, we talk about running, and the good teams are able to do it. You control the edge. There's Hammond. Gutsy. That ball gets away at the end, but this time it counts.
Tom Wheelahan to attempt the point after. From the University of Missouri. It is up, and it is good. The Stampede gain the lead 7-6. And they do it on the ground. Earl Bruce said, last year we ran the football, we didn't win. This year we run it for the touchdown early. St. Louis leads Milwaukee 7-6, just about 5 minutes old already, 13 points on the board. 2 weeks ago, the Stampede defeated Milwaukee 67-65. It, at that point, was the highest scoring game ever in Arena Football League history, a combined 132 points.
No kind of game you hate to lose. You're giving such a great effort offensively. That's the one thing that they have tried to shore up, and Willie McClay, their defensive coordinator, has assured me that you're going to like this new look tonight, and we'll see.
Wheelahan, the barefooted kicker out of Missouri, puts the ball back into play. Off the back net, having trouble handling the football was number 81, Kerry Simeon.
Boy, that hurts him. That takes the ball out of the hands of a terrific return guy.
Kerry Simeon, great return game against the Stampede 2 weeks ago. 10 kickoff returns for his head coach Michael Trigg for almost 270 yards.
Well, talking to Coach Bruce prior to the game, he says this man can return the football. We fear him, and so that really works out for St. Louis.
So Milwaukee will have 45 yards to go. They'll start off on their own 5-yard line. Harry Compton goes in motion. You hear Hamill, and he works it to Compton, and Compton is brought down at the 16-yard line. A gain of about 11 on the play. St. Louis defensively, and of course here in the Arena Football League, a lot of the same names, but let's concentrate on the defensive specialists. Number 21 is Calvin Shakur out of Central State, and on the other side you see Jackson, number 1, Ozzie Jackson, and Maurice Badgen, a defensive specialist. Hammond Wood, Papsdaro, Harrison Garber up front.
They expect a lot, really, out of Papsdaro up front, 99. Keep your eye on him.
Oh, it is a first down from the 16-yard line. Fumbled exchange, and the quarterback, Todd Hamill, is able to gather himself. And so now from both sides of the ledger, we've seen people unable to handle what should be simplified plays.
Well, you know, I used to think that, and not just on the indoor game, but the outdoor game as well. Quarterback and center relationship is something you go over 100 times throughout the course of a week. Now, who's at fault? Center, I think, does a pretty good job on that. Todd got a little antsy, I think pulled away, and didn't concentrate on the football.
Right. Wing motion back, 60, Z-go, wing jab. On one, ready?
Got that wing jab. They're going to try to get a flare and the outside receiver over the top.
Todd Hamill, in his 4th year. They go on one. He goes over the middle, and again Compton. Compton has been a busy receiver, breaks one tackle, and finally Hammond hauls him down, but not until he gets into St. Louis territory at the 22-yard line.
One of the things we talked about in the open was his ability to run after the catch. Here's a guy, again, who bench presses over 350 pounds. Former tight end, about a 4'6" guy. Watch him, nothing real complicated about this. He settles down, works the option route, catches, gets the shoulder square, now gets upfield.
Broke right through the arms of Calvin Shakur, one of the defensive specialists.
When you hear choice route in the offensive play, it's an option, which usually gives a guy like Compton a route to break either in or out.
Well, my choice would be Compton right now, wouldn't it, partner? Let's see if they go to number 2. And they do on the near side. Compton gets jammed into the side boards by both Hammond and number 1, Ozzie Jackson, but not until he is close to another Milwaukee first down.
Now, if I'm St. Louis, I start to worry about 81, Kerry Simeon, because now you're going out to Compton, and he kind of breaks out.
Yeah, in the middle. Left wing over motion.
Let me have a left wing over Y high motion, 50 Y change.
Hamill visiting with the former quarterback himself, his head coach Michael Trigg.
Left wing over, Y motion, 50 stack, Y choice. On one, ready?
50 series again. They're going to try to work the ball continually between the hashes downfield with the choice route.
All 3 receptions Hamill has completed to number 2, Gary Compton. In motion is Kenny Harper, and a whistle and a flag before the play. The 25-second play clock used here in Arena Football. And that play took about 26 or 27 seconds to get going.
If I'm a coach That's the one infraction that drives me nuts. Self-inflicted wound. Get in and get out of the huddle, call the play, and make it happen. They had a nice matchup, too. Simeon and Jackson one-on-one.
St. Louis head coach Earl Bruce was complimenting the 3 linemen of the Milwaukee Mustangs. Big, strong, and physical. You get a good look at number 68 over the football right now. That's Hiawatha Berry.
He's a good one.
Kenny Harper in motion on the near side. Plenty of time. Dumped off to Compton. Compton jammed into the side at the 2-yard line. Compton is liking life right now as he has 4 receptions already in the contest.
You notice the confidence, the level of confidence in this club. I mean, they just had their first win. They had lost 15 games in a row, and now all of a sudden guys are breathing. We're going to take another look at this. You're going to see the motion. Motion man comes aside, which is very important in this game because you get the defense going back. Now watch, he will settle, little inside move on. There your crossing route comes there. Ball is right on the money. So you had a crossing route to really develop that play.
So a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line as the Mustangs looking to score on their 2nd possession. The pitch back, the ball carrier Taylor, and he's in for the score. Number 22, the ball carrier Craig Taylor out of West Virginia, the rookie here in arena football. Missed the first 3 weeks of the season, has regained the lead for the Mustangs.
That's good execution, right down and dirty. You get people to help you block. Shane Garrett really deserves a lot of credit on this. He's only 185 pounds. And when we get another look at it, you're going to see that he stuck his Rydell helmet right in there at the point of attack and made a key block.
Craig Taylor brought in by Michael Trigg to add some offensive elements. He gets the touchdown now. The point after attempt is no good, but again, another flag on the play. Now, big number 99, Fran Papstero, wasn't in the backfield that time, so we know that's not the violation.
Well, boy, Stampede.
Illegal outside rush, 42 on the defense, half the distance to the goal. Repeat the try.
Boy, Ricky Wood, that time, they're just trading places now.
Yep.
That's a fundamental deal that you can control.
Wood played last year for that man, Earl Bruce, as a member of the Cleveland Thunderbolts. So half the distance, and remember the first time Hamill and his teammates had this similar situation, went for 2 and came up empty.
If I'm going to go at it, I get the ball in the hands of my fullback.
Big Craig Taylor has the touchdown. He's number 22. Close set behind the quarterback Todd Hamill. The give to number 82, and Garrett is stopped short. A good defensive play by Calvin Shakur. 2 times coming away empty on the 2-point conversion, so it's a 5-point lead early for the Mustangs on the deuce. 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first quarter. This is week 5 of Arena Football League action here on the deuce. The Milwaukee Mustangs looking for their 2nd victory of the season. They lead the Stampede of St. Louis 12-7. An early turnover by St. Louis turned into 6 points, and then that was just plain and simple a very impressive drive put together by Milwaukee.
It really was, but they're not finishing. You got to get the PAT or get the 2 points. That will invariably come back and just kick them right in the rear end.
Stucker with the kick, and it goes out of bounds, and so the flag will fall in good field position. And the special thing about arena football, you get to keep it, a souvenir. I'll take a hockey puck, but I would love to have one of those.
I don't want a puck. Not coming 100 miles an hour with a glass.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't want the puck, but I'll take that.
And look at him. He is making darn sure nobody tells him he can't have that football.
And that's better than a baseball. I mean, let's face it. Come on.
No question. The big question is, though, will he go out in the backyard, throw it on the pavement with his friends, scuff it up, and ruin it forever?
You have to.
8-6-6 on 2. Ready?
Very costly here in the Arena League to kick the kickoff out of bounds. Results in great field position on the 20-yard line. So just 30 yards to go for a score. John Kaleo, tight formation with the receiver in motion on the far side. Hill is wide open, and Hill can't handle the little pass from Kaleo. There was definitely confusion in the backfield for Milwaukee.
2 things. Kaleo's ability to get outside of the pocket, and then for receivers, this time Ed Hill, you have to recognize when your quarterback's in a little trouble, come back and help him, but you got to make the catch.
Let's go. Fly rocket left.
You hear the communication
Quick
between the 2.
Right. On 3. Ready?
Talking to Terrence Badgett yesterday, he described Kaleo as a very disciplined leader and a guy you don't want to get in his face, but he'll admit when he is wrong. And so both guys kind of taking the blame there. Hill goes back in motion, number 2, Ed Hill. Kaleo goes right back to the man, and he gets leveled at the line of scrimmage. Good hit applied by number 1, Gary Mullen.
Well, that's how you play defense. That's how you come up. They beat that play to death by scheme. They beat it up by scheme. They come up, and if you're going to run a little quick deal, a little hitch or flare, or we used to call them flare routes or fire routes, you have got to get a block by the outside receiver. Come up and chip. It's a buddy system. That time the buddy failed him.
Now it's interesting too that John Kaleo will look in many different directions. He'll look to Hill, he'll look to Mark Badgett, and he will look to Terrence Barber. And Badgett speaking yesterday about his quarterback. Marcus, also from Maryland, very disciplined in his description of Kaleo. Kaleo now working on 3rd and 9. And the football is in the hands of now Mullen. And Mullen works his way towards the end zone, and it is a touchdown for Milwaukee. Now, turnovers costly early.
We're talking new look Mustang defense. They are changing things up. A couple of weeks ago, this was predominantly a man-to-man defensive scheme. Now they're running some zone. They're picking up matchups, and I'll tell you this. Will McClay's got to be the happiest guy on that Mustang sideline. Okay, the ball is poorly thrown, but it's a good break on it by Mullen. And now this is, you turn into an offensive player, and then read the football. Most guys go both ways.
Yes, they certainly do, and that's what's so ironic about the situation of great offense 2 weeks ago in the 67-65 game. Point after attempt, no flag, and it is converted by the Mustangs, and they now lead this game 19-7.
You know, Kaleo, and this is a situation where, again, this is a very, very confident club offensively. They have a lot of receivers, and there are things they feel like they can do. This is a case where you watch, John, he comes back, quarterback there, he sets up and throws. Now the receiver here is not looking around. He's got a pour coming out of his break. The ball is behind him, and it just opens up a clear lane for Mullen to escape. Now watch this. Quarterbacks try to make it. It was a gutsy effort, but Mullen wanted the end zone worse than John wanted to stop him.
They hit him right. Right? Be smart.
Kaleo, the big game a couple of weeks ago against the Mustangs. And early mistakes by Kaleo and his teammate Terrence Barber with the fumble have turned into points for the Milwaukee Mustangs.
Well, give the Mustangs some credit defensively. They altered their scheme, and now they are making things happen.
And in the end zone, it's brought out by Barber. Barber avoids a tackle, moves ahead to the 10-yard line, works around Campbell, and he's forced out at the 16. The American Football League, the Arena Football League tonight, and then on ESPN, Sunday Night Baseball from the ballpark in Arlington, Texas. Frank Thomas and the Chicago White Sox take on Juan Gonzalez. Texas ace Kenny Rogers, winner of his last 7 starts, expected to pitch against the White Sox Jim Abbott and their new skipper Terry Bevington. It's Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Kaleo under pressure, fires incomplete, and a flag on the play. Good surge from the defensive line of the Mustangs there.
Well, you just start to sense now the confidence level is overwhelming for the Mustangs.
The holding is the call, though. As Campbell, number 77, Arnold, played 3 games with Miami, newly acquired by Milwaukee. I'll tell you what, Michael Trigg excited to have that guy in his lineup. Oh, yeah.
They know that he can apply some pressure right up the gut. Now, offensively.
Holding, number 27 on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat, first down.
And that's Chad Wiesling, who held on. And you look at John Kaleo's numbers tonight. 4 for 7, 47 yards, and interception. What a game last week. 5 touchdowns as Iowa was defeated for the first time this season. 26 of 39, almost 300 yards in the air.
Just 1 interception.
To the near side. A stutter step, and Garrett forces the receiver out of bounds, number 2. And that is Ed Hill.
Sometimes in a situation like this offensively, you need to stick a run in. You just need to settle you guys up and let them go off and tee off of those offensive linemen. Just keep reminding yourself that you're undefeated and that you're at home and that everything will be okay if you just keep believing it.
Game 5 of the 12-game regular season. St. Louis.
On quick, ready?
One of 3 undefeated teams, along with Tampa Bay and Arizona.
This OOO scheme, you're going to see quick ones, quick hits, quick out. They got option routes on this. It's a pretty nice scheme.
Back getting ahead of steam is Ed Hill. Ed Hill on the quick hit. He avoids the tackle, but getting a hold of the leg was number 1, Gary Mullen.
The 00 series is pretty similar to running the football, running on the outside game, running a dive off tackle. Kind of get your confidence going again, and maybe a guy breaks one.
Ripper 8 zoom, 43 draw. No, Ripper 8 zoom.
Earl Bruce discussing the play call with Kaleo.
Press it. Ripper 8 zoom, 44 draw on quick. Ready?
Yeah, now it's time to stick that run in, see? Little Buckeye at the helm. You better believe there's going to be some smash mouth football in this deal.
Chad Wiesling, the ball carrier. Off tackle, works around the outside. Wiesling has room towards the end zone. He's forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
I think he stepped out on about the 11. But you see, you get a little confidence going and you stick that run in. Because it kind of takes, you know, the Mustangs, their ears are pierced back and they're feeling great about themselves and they pop one on it.
At the top of the show, I said Terrapin Trio. There's John Kaleo and Marcus Badgett and this guy,
Yes,
the third Maryland player.
Yes, indeed. And
Chad
watch,
Wiesling.
this is nice. Good block outside. Boy, when you get your buddies helping you. Chris Harkness comes in, gets a block. He steps out, but all of a sudden now, crowd gets back involved in the game for the Stampede.
The end of 1 quarter play. Couple of costly turnovers. Milwaukee leads 19-7, but good field position for the Stampede when we come back to start the second. We welcome you back to the Kiel Center in St. Louis. Mike Goldberg and Doc Walker. The Milwaukee Mustangs looking for their second victory of the season, and they lead 19-7 after 1 quarter play, but a first down. The football marked on the 10-yard line for John Kaleo and the St. Louis Stampede. 2 costly turnovers in the first 15 minutes of play. And almost a third as it hit the turf right through the outstretched arms of number 11, Bruce Plummer, the second-year player out of Mississippi State.
You're gonna like Plummer. I mean, you've done enough SEC football to know that Bulldogs, those guys will hit you. Plummer will knock you out. I love this motion. Watch him come out of the break. I mean, that's the way you run a stop. But the ball is high and away, and the hammer almost makes a big play.
2 wide shallow on quick. Ready? Yeah. Yeah.
Kaleo and Earl Bruce talking during the timeout as we were in break, and they were both discussing the fact, forget about the interception. A lot of football to be played. Kaleo gets it into the hands of Papsadero, and he cannot hold on. The big man, the man they call the Boston Brawler, saw the end zone, forgot the football.
The Brawler couldn't take the ball with him. Boy, I love to see these big guys get a chance at the football. He's looking back, man, you're thinking, hey, I'm going to be a star. And you start to squeeze that thing and you let it hit the pads. If you can keep those hands on it. Now, Fran will come back because I'm sure he's got a catch in his system. And a very competitive guy, good football player.
Also a flag on the play. And it's going to go in favor of the St. Louis Stampede and against Milwaukee.
Well, that takes a little sting out of it.
Milwaukee, that's their first timeout.
Mustangs take their first time out, and we'll take our first break of this, the second quarter. Stampede pounding on the doorstep, looking to pull closer to the Mustangs. Discussions on the field between Michael Trigg and the head official. I think the argument is they're not sure if Fran Papsadero declared himself eligible on that last play or not. The flag goes this way as Jack Breaker discusses it with the head coach of Milwaukee, Michael Trigg.
You got to break the huddle on every play and identify the fact that you are the tight end. And they've got officials that their sole job is to make sure that in this case 99 comes up as he did on that play and established that he's the tight end.
Kaleo looking end zone, Hammond incomplete. Good coverage. Flying into the side was Michael James of Milwaukee.
James is a good one. He really is.
4 interceptions on the year. The leading tackler, the defensive specialist out of Arkansas.
Clay talked to me before the game. He said, keep your eye on number 7. Well, we're doing it. So far, Michael James is getting it done.
Milwaukee very efficient with their 76 yards offensively, putting up 19 points. And so a 2nd and 5 situation. As 8 seconds now on the play clock, so plenty of time for Kaleo. The handoff to Wood. Wood breaks one tackle, spins down inside the 5, and finally he's brought down just past the 2 near the 1-yard line.
And on number 42,
I'm very impressed with this Mustang defense. I mean, there's guys that force the action. This time, Michael James comes up, and he is really responsible for forcing that run in so that you could run right back to your helpers. When you're playing defense, you got to have people that come in and really help you. And watch 7 here at the bottom of your screen. We'll watch him as the play develops. Now, he's going to take off and create a lane right there. Watch that lane. That lane there, he makes contact, and that forces the back in. Funnels the attention in. You see the white shirts running over. That is the way you do it. That's textbook defense.
3rd and goal from the 2. Kaleo spins it. Look, touchdown. Flag on the play. Marcus Badgett with a touchdown reception. Will it hold, though?
Well, late flag like that usually goes against the defense.
Penalty on Milwaukee.
Holding on the defense, number 11. Penalty is refused. Touchdown.
Well, as a DB, you realize that you're beaten, so you think, why don't I grab? It happened right at the bottom of your screen, so you grab. Why not? You can save your club a score. That time it doesn't matter anyway. Badgett does his thing.
Wheelahan to try to put the 14th point on the board. Kaleo with the hold. Wheelahan's kick is up, and it is good. 19-14, the touchdown by number 8, Marcus Badgett. The Maryland connection scores again. Earl Bruce's team gets their 2nd touchdown of the evening from Marcus Badgett. Badgett suffered a rib injury in the first meeting earlier this year against the Mustangs.
Badgett is was hurt. He's been what I call the old man for the last couple of weeks, but he's well. Early in the season, he made some great moves, but he turned his ribs 2 weeks ago against Milwaukee, and it really hurt us. We had to make a lot of things, but he is a good receiver, runs good cuts, knowledgeable about the game, and is a joy to coach.
Played off the back net, picked up by number 81, Kerry Simeon. He comes near side, and he is just leveled by number 50. The big man, Billy Harris, in his 6th year out of Michigan.
Oh, Wolverine covering kicks. Love to see those big guys getting after you on special teams.
St. Louis scoring drive, 7 plays, 37 yards, taking 4 minutes and 24 seconds, and Marcus Badgett with the 3-yard touchdown. We've listened a lot to John Kaleo. Let's listen in to Todd Hamill.
Go bingo. On one, ready?
They like to go on the quick count, don't they, Doc?
They like that Z, that bingo. There's an option right. Look for a flag off the inside receiver. This time Compton.
Compton, the man who went in motion. Hamill to the near side, complete to Simeon. He stood up at the 17-yard line by Ozzie Jackson with assistance from number 21, Calvin Shakur. Kerry Simeon has been a good possession receiver for this team.
You know, he had more big play opportunities early on in the year. Now, you watch this again, not really complicated, just tries to show the numbers, makes the catch, and turns upfield, but is more the recipient of the hammer on that one. One thing I just like about Walter Payton, he would always deliver the blow as a back.
Hamill perfect tonight, 6 for 6, a touchdown, 85 yards. Now under heavy pressure, throws it up and gets help from his receiver. Receiver made the right move there. Gary Mullen came back to try to help out, just couldn't hold on to the football.
You make an excellent point. One of the things that coaches have been saying and yelling in receivers' ears forever, come back and help the quarterback if you get into a jam. Now this time you got to give a lot of credit once again to the guys up front. Big people, it's almost like a jailbreak. Kaleo he's looking at Hammond, looks at this deal, he goes, uh-oh, what do I do with it? You throw it outside, low and away, and hope for the best. That ball could have and should have been caught.
Let's use the count. Right, bring motion back. 35 loaded on 3. On 3, ready?
3rd and 1 situation. Football spotted on the 17-yard line of Milwaukee. On the keeper, Hamill's in trouble, and he did not get the first down. Good surge by the Stampede.
Billy Harris, stud on that play. Number 50. I mean, you have got to get your pads lower as an offensive player.
Milwaukee on that play was looking for their first rushing first down of the season, and again they come away empty.
Well, you got to get your fullback involved in this. It's 3rd time now they tried to get the quarterback in on short yardage. I think you hand that ball off to the near back.
That's why Milwaukee went out and got Craig Taylor, because they needed that extra element offensively.
Got to use him.
Field goal attempt coming from the 9-yard line of Milwaukee. Stucker the hold. The kick is up. And it will be played by Collins. Collins working to the far side, and he is brought down at the 9-yard line. So Stucker unsuccessful on the field goal attempt, and he is now 4 of 14 on field goal attempts this year. Stampede with the football, an opportunity to take the lead. 9:44 remaining in the half. Both teams tonight competing in the American Conference's Central Division. Opening the year with 4 straight wins. The first 3, 35-22 against Memphis, 42-40 against Connecticut, 65-60, 67-65 at Milwaukee. And this guy's a little confused. He thinks it's Christmas time as Kaleo looks to deliver the gift. He delivers the goods to Marcus Badgett, so maybe Santa Claus should be in the building.
Let's not tell him. You know, I like Christmas. Let's not tell him. Yeah, they're excited about football in St. Louis. I mean, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Consensus. Well, you get off the airport, and the first thing you see is St. Louis Rams T-shirts, and they love their Stampede here in the Arena League.
They really do. Watch the move on this. Boy, this is a nice route. Boy, that's walking the dog. He took him down, gave him that nice little hit inside, and broke back out. Boy, Baggett, he is healthy again, and Badgett's making it happen.
Kaleo on the ground, spinning up for a gain of about 3 yards was Hammond. But let's talk about that Maryland connection of John Kaleo and Marcus Badgett, because we will feature them in our halftime activities tonight here on the Deuce. These are two guys who will tell you, as most good quarterback receiver combinations do, when they're on, they don't have to do anything. It's all nonverbal, and it is all done through sight and sound. No talking is needed.
It's that way in any sport. It really is. You know, when you need to just know it. When he went into that little hint, John knew to release the ball.
And so Kaleo will work it first down and 8 yards. Kaleo, a quick hit again, and spun around. Good defensive coverage by Michael James.
Boy, James, this guy's playing like an all-star. He's forcing the run. He's making tackles. He's playing the pass well.
James playing in Milwaukee. His college buddy was Todd Day, now the Milwaukee Bucks, so I'm sure he enjoys in the offseason spending a little time at the Bradley Center watching Todd play football. Wonder if Todd sticks around, though, to return the favor now for Arena League.
Well, if that's his buddy, you'd hope that he does.
If not, Mr. Day, if you're out there listening, you should come support your partner, right?
Look for some pump and goes at some point in time. Now, when you start breaking on the football like that, if I'm a quarterback, I want to take advantage of it.
3rd and 8. Pressure on Kaleo. He avoids it, but has to throw the football towards the side. And again, who else had the good coverage? Pair of sevens meet on the near side. Michael James with the coverage on Darrell Hammond.
Yeah, he's playing in an incredible amount of confidence. You know, Kaleo under pressure, Mustang pass rush, much improved.
So it will be a 22-yard field goal attempt for number 4, Todd Wheelahan. Wheelahan, this is his first field goal attempt this season. 1986, second team Big 8 performer and an honorable mention All-American from 22 out. And the kick is good, and it is 19-17 as the Stampede have pulled within 2. Wheelahan good on his first attempt of the year here in St. Louis. The Arena Football League, Mike Goldberg, Doc Walker, we're in the second quarter. 6 minutes and 49 seconds remaining, and Simeon has trouble off the net again with his Milwaukee Mustangs leading 19-17, breaks 2 tackles and works his way outside the 20-yard line, finally hauled down at the 22.
Now you see why he is so good. I mean, can you imagine? You've got 8 guys screaming at you. You've dropped that ball, and you cannot panic. Well, if you panic, you're in a world of trouble.
4 plays, 31 yards. Tom Wheelahan with the 25-yard field goal to make our score 19-17.
It was a great hold by Kaleo, too. It was not a good snap. Great recovery by John.
And the numbers for Todd Hamill, 6 for 7, 85 yards and a touchdown. Impressive performance for the guy we said in the open. Not flashy, but extremely solid, and he has been thus far. Goes over the middle again, working into Stampede territory on the reception, number 82. That is Shane Garrett.
Milwaukee so far has just shown a flaw in terms of PATs and short yardage. They can improve on that. I mean, they've got a good package. Garrett, again, had a couple of good blocks so far in this. You like to see the receivers work themselves back to the ball, but I like the move after the catch.
Michael Trigg said yesterday he truly feels, despite the 1-3 start last year, obviously Milwaukee is struggling season at 0-12. They have the talent here to be successful.
They really do.
We've seen a good performance thus far. Hamill looking for Simeon. Simeon over the middle. Over the outreach hand of Ozzie Jackson, and Simeon got a good feel for the football but couldn't haul it in.
It's a tough angle for the catch. He had him beat, and either Jackson just gets, fortunate to put his hand right in his face. Here you watch Gary. Now watch the little wrinkle right there. See how he's got him. The ball should be there. Ball is a little late and thrown back. Ball is still on his hands, though. He's capable of making that catch. See, now that's what he's complaining about, and he was right. But hey, all the good DBs kind of pinch on you a little bit. That's good camera work, too.
If they don't, they're sitting down on that couch over there.
No,
right?
they're up here with us. Yeah, they're analysts.
Hamill on 3rd and 5. They'll go for the same play again, opposite side. Touchdown, Milwaukee. Shane Garrett with the touchdown reception. The Mustangs find the end zone again.
Oh, he made that look easy.
He sure did.
He really did. You know, Hamill again did have that kind of poise to know that you had a throw that wasn't quite there, come right back and make it happen again. I like the way Garrett comes off the line of scrimmage again. All these receivers really nice coming out of the break. See, that ball is perfect. Extension, good catch, and score. See if we can take another look. Now watch Hamill. See if you can watch the eyes. Even with the telegraph on there, he knows, hey, I'm going, stop it. And that's just an excellent route.
Stucker for the PAT to make it 26-17. Hamill did a good job of handling that snap. So Kaleo and Hamill both doing a good job. He readjusts, and the Mustangs regain a bigger margin on their lead. 26-17 our score. Earl Bruce started coaching at the University of Tampa in 1972. He was at Iowa State, Ohio State, Northern Iowa, and Colorado State. The year that was the big one for Earl Bruce, 1979, with the Buckeyes 11-0 in the regular season, advanced Ohio State to the Rose Bowl. And I'll tell you what, it truly was at that point the toughest job in America to succeed the legendary Woody Hayes.
Amen to that. Oh, what a collision.
And still working a good return out to the 17-yard line. Number 6, Lindsey Collins, another guy that St. Louis likes to have here on their roster out of Missouri.
Michael James, this guy, M-A-N, capital letters. He goes down on that kickoff, and some guys want to break up the wedge. Some guys think about breaking up the wedge, and then some guys break up the wedge. Watch 7 on your screen. 2-on-1, and he stays up and still gets involved on the tackle.
Kaleo, the quick hit to Harkness. Harkness, a good gainer into Milwaukee territory. Dives ahead to about the 24-yard line.
Harkness not playing like a stranger. Just changing colors and coming right in and picking up the offense.
Well, he played with Earl Bruce last year in Cleveland, recently released by Arizona. Milwaukee scoring drive, 3 plays, 23-yard touchdown reception for Shane Garrett. On 1st and 10, miscommunications. Collins couldn't handle the football, regathered himself, and got a pretty decent gain considering.
So you waste your blocks. You're bumbling with the ball. Guys up front have done a pretty good job for you, but all for naught.
It's funny, we were talking before about the great offensive prowess of these teams. Both struggled on defense, but you have to yell at the same guys in the Arena Football League because it's basically the same guys on defense.
It is. It's going back, man. You remember, no different than hockey.
That's exactly
changing the line, but these guys don't get the change.
That's exactly, and basketball too. Quick rush in and definitely movement on the line.
Campbell.
Over the middle, almost a free play. 77 Arnold Campbell, the man we talked about earlier, playing his first game with Milwaukee. A little over aggressive there.
He was in the huddle. You know what I mean? He's trying to complain. Hey, you said it was on 2. You know the ongoing joke.
Offsides, number 77 on the defense, 3-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
You know, you say to yourself, how can the nose guard be offsides?
That's right.
You know, when you're taught from Pop Warner on, but I mean, you get a feel for it. You can look at the center's hand, squeeze that ball, and you can see blood, you know, the whites of the knuckles. And if that happens, man, you go.
Former All-American Conference performer, for Arizona in 1993. Campbell offside, so we'll work at 2nd and 3. The handoff, the ball carrier up towards the 10-yard line. Number 44, Chuck Hython, the number 3 fullback from Glenville State in his first year.
Rookie 250-pounder. See, how about giving him the ball? Again, when you get down short yardage, you got to go to fullback.
How about 10-8-6?
Earl Bruce likes 10-8-6.
Let's go mid, Rio trips, 30, 1-2-2, all quick, ready?
Going at 3-step, look for something quick. He'll have an option on the 2-receiver side. Let's see if he can make it happen.
Trying to cut into this 26-17 lead. Kaleo, pressure from the backside, avoids the pressure now, dumps it off into the end zone. Wide open, touchdown, Harkness. St. Louis scores again.
What a play by Kaleo. You talk about quick feet, no panic, having a feel for the game. And there's Harkness giving you his impersonation of Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he's really the guy who was recipient of a great effort by a quarterback that avoids a rush. Watch this. There's one, a great effort. I mean, here's a guy who keeps the feet, tucks the ball, looks upfield, sees the open receiver, and gives him a Christmas treat for a guy who has on the Christmas hat here in St. Louis.
Wheelahan to make it 26-24. Well, Harkness got the touchdown, but credit the great effort to the quarterback, number 3, John Kaleo. Harkness, the wide receiver, Dave Bay, 6', 200-pounder, 27 years old, out of Ashland, was wide open, and the reason he had time to get himself wide open is because all the pressure was in the face of John Kaleo. He did a great job in handling it.
That was a great move by a great athlete.
So Rio trips. They're expecting either that or the screen. And Plummer's sitting heavy right there. That's what I'm saying. Let's try something different.
Numerous, you see that? Earl Bruce, Plummer's sitting right there. Discussions. Earl Bruce almost considers his quarterback, John Kaleo, an equal because Kaleo, a great student of the game.
I like to run a stop.
It's also got to realize not getting your pass protection.
This is Zoom stop, 30,
Interesting to be able to listen in on the discussions between the head coach, Earl Bruce. Something you don't get. As St. Louis scores on the 34-yard touchdown reception from Chris Harkness. And it's a 2-point football game. Mustangs 26, Stampede 24. Driving kick played by Simeon. He handles it on a bounce. Simeon getting a step, moving out, breaking one tackle, and then being hauled down at the 20-yard line by Fran Papsadero.
I guarantee you, Simeon will get one before the evening is over. You know, I mean, he's on the verge every time he touches the football.
Well, you've got to be petrified when a guy lights you up the way Simeon did 2 weeks ago. 10 kickoff returns for 264 yards. Hamill working his way out to discuss things with his football team.
Go, go.
13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions this year for Hamill. He's played for Michael Trigg for quite some time now, since Trigg's days with the Dallas Texans. Finds Compton, the man who he went to with frequency early in the football game.
That offensive line, boy, they deserve a milkshake on that one. That was great pass pro.
Is that what offensive linemen want now, milkshakes?
Well, milkshakes. Until you start winning more games, and then, you know, it's jewelry and then cars and houses. You know, Compton again makes it look easy.
And naturally a first down from the 10-yard line. Or first and 10, pardon me, from the 15-yard line. Played by Compton again, and he works his way to the spot which I expected them to get to, the 10-yard line.
You know, the final minute of the half.
Okay. In fact, that's what we're going to
Get a chance to work the clock a little bit because you can't stop it.
Second timeout, Todd Hamill.
One left. One timeout left.
This is what I want, baby. I want left, right? I want left, Y motion back, right? And I want you to run 90 fade. Everybody, let's go.
Okay, you run right behind, run the fade. Everybody's running the fade. Everybody's running the fade. Left, Y motion back, 90 fade. On one, ready?
Good numbers for Todd Hamill, 10 of 12. Just 2 incompletions on the night.
All fade when you're in the red area. Toughest throw in football. The receivers have got to get off the line clean. If you work yourself off clean, you got a chance for a home run.
2nd and 5 from the 10-yard line. Hamill timing pattern. Simeon runs into a cameraman in the back. And Kerry Simeon is shaken up. No, Kerry Simeon is okay.
That cameraman's shaken up, and that camera is destroyed.
He came right at our end zone camera. Checking the equipment right now. As actually that's the inside house feed here at the Kiel Center. As you see the camera and a view of it right there.
Gonna call him the backup camera.
Tell you what, if he's just replacing a battery, that's a strong cameraman, and his boss should give him a raise for saving that equipment.
I think you ought to kick in some of your bucks.
Oh, listen to that. Incomplete. Good play by Badgett as he deflects it.
Harper had a shot at a score. Why are you spending somebody else's money? Spend your own money.
So a big play coming up, 4th and 6. Big decision to be made.
There you watch Harper. You like to drive in there. He does a pretty good job. Great recovery by Badgett. That is an excellent job defensively.
3rd and final timeout called by the Milwaukee Mustangs.
I still like the all fades.
All right.
But Badgett, you know, some guys just expand their game on national television. He's definitely one of them.
Good defensive play there by Marcus Badgett. His former partner John Kaleo was impressed with his defensive play in the Arena League, and he obviously knows about the offensive numbers. What a year in 1992 for Marcus Badgett. His senior season, 75 receptions, 1,240 yards, 9 touchdowns, breaking Maryland and ACC records, leading the nation. Marcus Badgett connecting with John Kaleo. And really all it does is continue a great tradition that goes back to Scott Zolak, who had a big catch made by Terrence Badgett when Badgett was an underclassman. You take a look at a Scott Milanovic there now. And, of course, my favorite from the University of Maryland, number 7, Boomer Esiason.
The left-hander.
You got that right.
Yeah. No, University of Maryland, again, a great tradition for quarterbacks. And as they continue to recruit better and expand on the defensive side, they're going to get back. They're going to get back because they've got athletes.
You know, both guys talked about who is still the head coach there now, Mark Duffner. And the year Duffner came in and Badgett put up those numbers was the first year they instituted the run and shoot. But most importantly, what we have right now, 4th and 6, 17 seconds remaining. Hamill and his teammates, ball spotted on the 9-yard line. Rushes on Hamill, he throws it incomplete. The Stampede hole.
Darrell Hammond, that's a big-time play. He's talking about your leading receiver, a guy who is numero uno coming into this game in arena football with 37 catches. He's on the defensive side making a play when it counts.
Darrell Hammond, number 7 for St. Louis.
That's one of the reasons why people in this league refer to him when I like Barry Wagner. You watch 7 on your screen, watch him on a dog. He comes straight through. Great athlete, not going to get away from him. Puts the hand right on the ball and breaks up and makes a big play.
Let us not forget, though, 14 seconds, plenty of time to score, and here comes Badgett. He's got blockers. He works to the 25-yard line. 7 seconds on the clock. Timeout signaled by Kaleo. 24 seconds in arena football is an eternity.
You know, it almost feels like the NBA. You know, when there's time on the clock. You look at it in the regular game, you think, oh, there's not much that can be done now. Not the case, folks.
Now they're 24 yards away from taking the momentum of a great defensive stop and potentially going into the locker room with the lead.
Mike, you'd be surprised what you can do with the Nets in this situation as well. Boy, this is a good, I mean, he's just really on. Marcus Badgett coming back from an injury, had the bad rib cage. He is now 100% and having the best game I think he's had in 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, with 6 seconds left, Earl Bruce is going to try to go for the 3 points. Wheelahan to kick from his own 18-yard line. Good snap to set. Wheelahan's kick is up. And it is good.
Bingo.
Tom Wheelahan hitting his first 2 field goal attempts of the season for St. Louis. And the defensive stop turns into momentum going into the locker room. A 30-yard field goal for Tom Wheelahan has given the Stampede the lead after one half of football being played here on the Deuce. 27-26. Wheelahan fired up again. 27-26, our halftime score. A look at the Maryland connection and a look back at the first half of play when we continue on the Deuce. The start of the second half here at the Kiel Center in St. Louis. The Stampede and the Terrapin connection leading 27-26. Kaleo, 2 touchdowns, 121 yards in the air, and 1 touchdown reception for Marcus Badgett, 75 yards in reception. So again, those Terp Terrors have created a little bit of Mustang problems against Milwaukee tonight. And this guy too has been very effective. Number 4, Tom Wheelahan, the rookie who has been to 3 NFL camps, Green Bay, San Diego, and Houston. Perfect, including that 30-yarder as time expired in the first half.
Tonight, he's a star. And all he's got to do now is capitalize on it and continue in the second half.
27 and 40-yard field goals for Wheelahan in the first half. Simeon is back deep. And the first mistake made
that's not the way you start
by
Wheelahan.
Yeah. Look at the numbers for the first 20 minutes of play. Completions by both quarterbacks pretty even. The rushing yards, though, St. Louis doing a good job on the ground. And the 2 turnovers is why, though, Milwaukee was able to gain the early advantage.
And that's why Milwaukee's got to be a little disappointed. I mean, you look at St. Louis with 2 turnovers, you want to make them pay more so for that. That's why Michael Trigg was unhappy at halftime.
Todd Hamill and his teammates took great efficiency on being productive off those early turnovers, producing them into 14 points. Hamill with the quick pitch on the left side. The ball carrier is Craig Taylor, the former Cincinnati Bengal.
Ralph Jarvis, number 99, gave him a shot at the left guard spot to get that run in. And you start to sense that one thing about Michael Trigg I like, he played the quarterback in this game. He's a champion at this. And he's just trying to really live through Todd Hamill at this point at the quarterback spot. And Hamill so far has been carried out his things pretty well.
Hamill's been a backup on a few of Michael Trigg's teams, and so he's earned his chance to be the man this year for the Milwaukee Mustangs. He goes up top. Compton was his early receiver. Compton is in for the touchdown. Gary Compton, with a man draped all over him in the form of Calvin Shakur, comes up with the early touchdown and not afraid again to express his emotions.
Compton comes up like Hercules on this. An excellent route. The ball is a little late, but he goes up and just claims the ball. Some guys decide that when the ball is in the air, it belongs to them. This is a classic example of that. Compton goes up, makes the grab, and earns the touchdown.
They told us yesterday Gary Compton runs a great crossing pattern. He worked his way towards the corner of the end zone. Mustangs looking to regain a 6-point advantage. High snap, Stucker, the kick is blocked. That time, Fran took the right route. Pasadero gets the block, and it's 32-27.
Boy, Fran's having a heck of a football game on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
The ball's too big to avoid. Milwaukee scores first in the second. Did not take the Mustangs long to strike here in the third quarter. They regain the lead, 32-27.
Watch what motion does on the touchdown play. Once it's in, Compton here comes around on the motion. What it does, it gets the trail back here, caught on the island. Then you see a great move in the move action. Now watch the ball go up. He will elevate and go and take the football and score. Boy, that was pretty.
Terrence Barber on the return. Stutter step at the 11-yard line. James catches him from behind.
On the return, number 5, Terrence Barber, first down.
Now, this game reminiscent of the meeting 2 weeks ago is a quick scoring drive of 30 yards put together by Milwaukee. Compton earning himself another touchdown on the evening. But the first meeting 2 weeks ago, the final Stampede winning 67-65. That record of 132 points, though, was broken the next night by Arizona and Vegas when they put together a scoring combination of 141 points.
That was awesome.
This game not for the faint of heart.
Babe Pirelli.
Lots of movement on the line. Flags thrown. Free play for Kaleo. He completes the pass to the near side, and more flags come down to the surface after the initial surge on the defensive line by Milwaukee.
Yeah, Ralph Jarvis, 99 for the Mustangs, earned a holding penalty on that. He was flying at the defensive end spot. What do you expect, though? The highest scoring game in arena history. Danny White, one coach. Babe Pirelli, the other. I mean, come on. You know, two great NFL quarterbacks.
Holding on the offense, offsides on the defense, penalties offset, replay the down, first down.
It's interesting you mentioned that scoring trend, though, because league-wide scoring is just up about 1%. I think it was from 83.5 points to 84 combined. So although we talk about these big scoring games, that really hasn't been the norm this year as opposed to last year. Been pretty even with what the teams did last year.
And with expansion, and the expansion club coming and done well, I mean, the level of playing arena football this year has been outstanding.
Iowa 3-1, and of course, these very St. Louis Stampede off to the first ever 4-0 expansion start. Kaleo goes high and running under it, but not bringing it down. Marcus Badgett.
Boy, Billy Harris got away with one. 50 for the Stampede at center. I mean, the one thing about the Mustang defensive line, big time improvement. I mean, they are bringing the dogs out on Kaleo. Yeah, he doesn't look happy now. As you watch on the outside, Marcus Baggett has run some really good routes. This time his quarterback doesn't have a shot. He was close to that football and can make that catch. Arnold Campbell, 77 for the Mustangs, has just been possessed.
Kaleo on 2nd and 10. Dumps it off to the big man. And this time he holds on to the football. Fran Papsadero.
The brawler.
Showing us his versatility, if you will.
The Boston brawler. His buddies will not let him forget the fact he dropped that touchdown pass. But this is a great call by Earl Bruce and company. This is the way you negate a great pass rush. You know, you let the dogs come out and you hit that little dink pass to the tight end.
Out of Springfield College in Springfield, Massachusetts, was the 1985 Kodak All-American. 3rd and 2 for Bruce's team from inside their own 20-yard line. They take it to the ground. Earning the yardage was Darrell Hammond, but there is a flag on the play.
Well, you get holding quick on a running play. Jack Baker getting a lot of work. Must have been an alignment.
Charlotte, Connecticut in the Arena Football League tonight. Charlotte leading Connecticut 21-7 in the second quarter.
They are angry. Whenever you let a team that has 0 for 15 beat you, you better believe you have an awful week of practice.
That was last week.
Encroachment on the second neutral zone by number 82. 3-yard penalty. First down.
6 penalties, 25 yards for Milwaukee. Just 3 infractions called on the Stampede. You mentioned Charlotte losing last week. 31-27 final. Milwaukee beating the Charlotte Rage. Big relief getting that first win for the Mustangs, even though it was a sloppy game. The numbers for Kaleo pretty impressive. He'll add to him here. The reception made, and inside the 20-yard line, James brings down Terrence Barber.
Again, Kaleo getting back to just a real nice quick read and reaction. You know, Garnett was the gentleman that was called for the infraction. He's the Geo linebacker. There's a 5-yard area that he's got to maintain. This is just pitch and catch football. You run in it, you run up against the zone, and Milwaukee's been switching things up a lot. But you'll see this little change from the outside game because you can't get too close to the line of scrimmage. You got to keep a certain relationship. You can't blitz. You can't stunt up front. So a number of things that really make this game intriguing.
It's a first down, man.
First down signaled for St. Louis.
All right. First down, Stampede.
You know, Earl's having fun. You can just look at him. Earl Bruce is having fun with arena football.
Not afraid to come on the field. He was an NBA coach. He would have been teed up and tossed out about the first 2 minutes of the game.
That's what I like about this game, though. You know, we get to go in at halftime, get to mic the quarterbacks.
It's got personality.
That's a good point.
32-27, 10:25 remaining in the third quarter. You're watching the AFL on the Deuce. Our venue in Week 5 here on the Deuce is the Kiel Center in St. Louis, Missouri. 32-27 our score. Next week, The Pharaohs of Memphis travel to take on the Barnstormers of Iowa. 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Pacific. That's Friday night on the Deuce. And 2 weeks from now, the Albany Firebirds take on those Coyotes of Connecticut. Albany, the Firebirds. Connecticut, the Coyotes. Arena football each Friday night here on ESPN2. Almost 200 total yards amassed now for St. Louis. Will they get it here? Badgett tightly contested. The coverage was good by number 11, Bruce Plummer.
Boy, he had the Boston Brawler wide open. And that's what happens. The big guy drops one, and then Kaleo doesn't want to go back to him. That was a real good call. There you watch Badgett. He's looking. There's the hammer. Got a lot of contact.
Hey.
There's the big man, number 99, Fran Papsadero. We've said his name on frequent occasion.
Ripper trips. 70. 6, 8, 10 on quick. Ready?
Okay, they're going to 5-step drop, a curl, probably look for the backside post on this to see if he can get Darrell Hammond involved.
On 2nd and 10 from the 18. Kaleo steps up, it's incomplete. Over the outstretched arms of Darrell Hammond.
Tried to go to him, but the double was on Hammond. That wasn't a real good read by John.
Fly zoom lizard trips.
Kaleo has aspirations of being a head coach in the Arena Football League.
Fly zoom ripper trip 75-9-8.
Thus the frequent communication with his head coach Earl Bruce.
Ripper trip 70. 5, 9, 8 on 2. Ready?
When you do number routes, you say one number wrong or get a rip or a Liz confused, and it can definitely abort the play. They're going back to something similar. Let's see if they can hit it.
3rd and 10 again from the 18-yard line. Flags before the play, motion on the line. One would assume. We'll see what the call is. And indeed, that's a delay a game call. The 25-second clock.
On the offense, 3-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Pushes it back to a 3rd and 13.
That's an awful penalty. That's why I like hand signals, at some point, because you're taking time out. Although Earl is on the field with him, you'd think you'd be able to come in and get that play call quicker.
St. Louis has been very good on 3rd down. And coming in, opponents against Milwaukee have converted almost 50% of their 3rd down opportunities. And that is not good defensively.
It's a new-look defense, though. New-look defense for the Stangs.
New-look team period, huh, partner? But not here. Wide open. Touchdown scored by Terrence Barber.
Make that old look. Make that old look.
First touchdown of the night for Terrence Barber. St. Louis has regained the lead.
Boy, Barber talked to me early before the game. He said, I'm going to get one tonight, Doc Walker. And he definitely does. And you watch him high on the screen. He comes across. He's going to work himself right here in the cleared area. He is wide open. Now, that might have been a miscue. I hate to think that the inside strong backer on that, LaCobe, would have been responsible for covering Barber. That's the benefit of a crossing route.
Wheelahan for the point after, and it's good. Wheelahan has been perfect tonight. 34-32, Stampede in the lead. And not only was it a 3rd down conversion, it's a 3rd down conversion. 3rd and 13 for the touchdown. St. Louis 34, Milwaukee 32. Terrence Barber gives St. Louis the 34-32 lead with 7:50 remaining in the 3rd quarter. As we work our way through the weekend, your Sunday night should be spent in front of the TV on ESPN. Sunday night baseball, 2-time American League home run champion Juan Gonzalez has returned from the DL. He's added more pop to an already potent Rangers lineup. Sunday night baseball on ESPN. Wheelahan's kick is up and out of the end zone, and so coming out with no return, Kerry Simeon and his teammates from Milwaukee. And this game has really had everything. Early turnovers gave Milwaukee the lead. Then Milwaukee was effective. Now St. Louis putting together scoring drives like the one you see there with great efficiency.
And a big 3rd down play. It's so much talent to go to. I mean, if you try to defend him, Barber, his first catch, and if you take a look at the sequence of plays, missed field goal and touchdown, a field goal and touchdown. Milwaukee's last 4 possessions, they have had the ability to make things happen, but you got to stop people.
So they start from the 5-yard line. After the kick went through the end zone, Simeon goes in motion. Hamill trips on himself, loses the football, regathers it. It's still loose, and St. Louis recovers. Simeon just got, or pardon me, Hamill got caught up on the turf. And he turns the football over. Costly turnover, St. Louis on the 2-yard line.
That's ugly. Very, very difficult, boy, when you start failing yourself offensively. This is the second time they've had some problems. You know, I think what happened, it kind of looked like LeCoe maybe has swatted the ball or stepped on his foot. Boy, that's a tough break, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, you can score quick in this game, and the goal line stance, they had a good one a week ago. Now you're tested.
First and goal from the 2. Touchdown, St. Louis. Chad Wiesling, the ball carrier, in your face with the score. Oh, bad effort on the spike play. Bad effort.
Yeah, poor spike. We got to work with him on the spike.
Good work finding the camera. Bad effort on the spike. Come on, Chad.
A little power football, you got to be good in short yardage and goal line. Give Hill some credit. Ed Hill, he threw his body in.
And so Wheelahan a chance to add on. Stampede lead 40-32 as we await the extra point.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense after the touchdown. 8-yard penalty will be administered after the kickoff.
So the official, Jack Baker, didn't like the attempted spike either. Unsportsmanlike on the offense, the call against St. Louis. Wheelahan will try to make it 41-32 with the clock moving under 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Wheelahan's kick is up and good again.
Boy, he's strong.
I think St. Louis has found something special in that young man, number 4. They love it on the deuce here in St. Louis. The Stampede lead. John Kaleo personally talked Chad Wiesling into coming out of a collegiate retirement to play for St. Louis. He scored the last touchdown. He's also out of Maryland. He's also impressed the head coach.
Chad is I don't know what it is with Chad, but he's not an offensive football player, and yet he gains ground when he runs the football player. A good blocker for the quarterback when he goes back to pass. Defensively, needs to get a little more, I guess, movement to get in to rush the passer, because if you're the fullback, you play the MAC linebacker, and the MAC linebacker's got to be able to rush the passer. But he catches the ball well, too, from the fullback spot. Made some really good catches at the fullback spot for us.
Simeon on the return. And Simeon's still on his feet. And up to about the 13-yard line. You know, you speak of Chad Wiesling, the man you see right there, number 27. He's a perfect fit for the Arena Football League. His first 2 years at Maryland, he played wide receiver. His last 2 years, he played outside linebacker.
Yeah, you know, he's a versatile young man, as you mentioned, a guy prototype for this league. And Earl, I thought, was very candid. As he develops, he's going to be a real good one. Frank Wycheck is the kind of guy that reminds me of Frank playing with the Washington Redskins now, who played running back, played tight end at University of Maryland. Just similar guys, you know, good athletes who can play a number of positions.
Chad was a graduate assistant football coach at Maryland. Said my body finally felt good as he got the 3-yard touchdown run to cap off the one-play scoring drive. And Kaleo, he says, is a very instrumental guy in having me back here. He convinces you to do things maybe you don't want to. And he did this time as Garrett gets the reception inside St. Louis territory. We'll work our way back into the huddle, and Todd Hamill see how he recovers and keeps his poise after the turnover cost his team the score.
Key word, buddy, poise.
All right, let me have right wing over, Y high motion, 50 Y choice stack.
Right, wing over, Y high motion, 50 stack, Y choice. On two, ready?
3-step drop on this. And I think they've got a built-in choice right on this. If they're pressed, you could see them go over the top for a big one.
2nd and 1. Football spotted on the 20-yard line. Simeon in motion, flag on the play, goes near side, completion made by Shane Garrett. He's forced out of bounds at about the 7-yard line by Ozzie Jackson.
Well, Milwaukee cannot afford a penalty.
Especially when you look at a guy who loves offense so much. You saw him a moment ago, Michael Trigg, first-year head coach, obviously, in Milwaukee. 3 seasons as offensive coordinator for the Texans of Dallas, and he was the head coach last year in Fort Worth. He's always loved the offense, and he was kidding yesterday saying, maybe that's why our team gave up 67 points, because I love offense so much. But you know what? We did score 65.
Right, wing motion back.
Going back quick, he also, they gave up some points, but they were also playing a lot of man-to-man.
Yeah.
And anybody will give up a lot if you're going to play man in this league against good athletes.
Hamill up top, timing pattern in and out of the hands of Gary Mullen.
Boy, he had it. Gary started trying to negotiate the inbound, so he could get the feet. And you got to catch the ball and you just let it happen instinctively.
Well, there's a veteran right there. 9th year out of West Virginia.
Only man to play every season in arena football. I mean, he's like Rockmore out with the Predators. Now you watch this, he's got good separation. He's reaching out now, he just go catch it. But see, he's kind of looking down, trying to negotiate the feet in, and it's just tough to do. Even for a player as talented as Gary Mullen.
Began in 1987 with the Dynamite of Denver. Near side, Simeon. He has the first down yardage on 3rd and 4. Said earlier, Simeon's been a pretty good possession receiver. 10.5 yards per reception. Not a lot of touchdowns, not a lot of big hits, at least when he's not returning the football, Doc. But that's the kind of guy you need in this situation.
They've got 3 receivers they can go to. I'm a little surprised that he's not more involved in the offense, stretching it. But then again, still got a lot of time.
Now, he's used to knowing his place in the offensive strategy. Played at Texas A&I. Johnny Bailey and Heath Sherman. Hamill now looks that way. Garrett. And he's brought down at the 6-yard line. Flag back near the line of scrimmage. A good gainer and a good reception down at the knees by 82 Shane Garrett.
Good hit by Harkness as well.
Holding the call, and it goes against Milwaukee again. And you said a second ago, can't self-destruct.
Well, you test it now. You get your first win. You're down 15. You have a great week of practice.
Holding, number 99 on the offense, 8-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Then you come out, your morale, you feel good about yourself. You score first, and all of a sudden now you test it. And the character of a football club, or any professional club, is tested throughout the duration of the game. You never get too high or too low, and they just got to believe in that.
So the 8-yard penalty marked off. 3 minutes and 25 seconds remaining. 1st and 18. Here in the 3rd quarter on the deuce. The Mustangs trail by 9. Fumbled exchange again. Hamill regathers. And again, confusion at the line of scrimmage for Milwaukee.
It's the 3rd time. It's costing out a fumble. Cost him in some points. Now, I've had offensive games where, if you're fortunate enough to win, the coach just tosses the film in the trash. This will be one of those. If Milwaukee wins this, I don't think they watch the offensive side of this. You just trash it and get ready for the next week.
It was sort of that way last week, too. Sloppy game, but Michael Triggs said he knows they played well in early games and lost some heartbreakers. 69-61 against Iowa. Lost 33-26 at Memphis, and then the 2-pointer against St. Louis up at the Bradley Center.
You score 60 points twice, you're supposed to get a W.
Hamill. And good defensive play. Breaking up the pass was Ozzie Jackson.
Well, you can stretch your stuff when you come in and make a play like that. But I still say at this point, Hamill's now aiming the ball. I mean, he's a little late on this. Simeon comes out, doesn't come out of the break real clean. You want to snap that across. Be defined with the route. Not a good route, not a good throw.
Brings up a 3rd and 17 for Hamill and the Mustangs. And another souvenir to the fans here at the Kiel Center.
They need a quick hitch at this point, Mike. They got to get a confidence builder in the offense.
Shane Garrett to go into motion. Hamill wants to load up. Now he goes over the middle towards the end zone. And is it an interception? Yes, the interception made by Chris Harkness.
No, he's
out of bounds.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, the play effective 3rd and 17. So it'll be a long field goal attempt forthcoming, we would assume, for Milwaukee. And their kicker, number 8, Kenny Stucker.
See, the official, he's running around too. He can't see that. He's got to count on his buddies. That's a great catch by Harkness, but he is out of bounds. See, you almost surrender. You throw a deep route, the guy's not open. Come back, take a simple route, maybe hope that your receiver can break a tackle. They're playing like a team that's lost its confidence offensively.
Stucker at the 40-yard field goal attempt. High snap, handled nicely by Hamill. Driving kick is off to the side. It'll be played by Terrence Barber. Barber at his own goal line, smothered at the 4-yard line. 4 of 15 now field goals for that man, number 8, Kenny Stucker. U.S. Cup Soccer, Nigeria at the United States. It's Sunday, and this Sunday is the 11th, 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Pacific time from Foxborough, Massachusetts. The Nigerian Super Eagles made it to the second round of the World Cup last year. It'll be a World Cup reunion for some U.S. players, and you can see it on the news coming up this weekend on ESPN, pardon me, on the Classic this weekend on ESPN as soccer coverage continues on both ESPN and the Women's World Cup that we spoke of on the Deuce this weekend.
I know you were pretty good on the ice with the stick in your hand, but how about playing soccer? You ever playing soccer?
Yeah, I did. I was a goaltender.
Is that right?
Yeah, honest and
you like to live on the ice.
I just didn't want to play football. I didn't like getting hit, so I played hockey instead.
Yeah, right. That was a great alternative.
Actually, I didn't want to play football against guys your size.
I didn't lose any teeth playing football. You lost when playing hockey.
John Kaleo, 14 of 23, impressive. 3 touchdowns, and has really recovered his confidence from that early interception that truly disturbed him. It was returned for the touchdown. Kaleo with time. Now plenty of flags as he is hit by 2 players in white at the 9-yard line.
What a knucklehead play by Hart.
Yep.
Hart made some great play. He's physical, but all the garbage afterwards, and I'm John Kaleo, I'm not going to taunt that young man either. He's 6'5", he's 295 pounds.
Don't get him upset. Out of Auburn, Randy Hart, late hit, as we'll have him gathered by Jack Baker. A sea of yellow has hit the turf here at the Kiel Center.
Milwaukee's just got to settle down now. And sometimes you need to bring your whole team together. Just tell the guys, hey, man, forget the score at this point. Let's just get back to we know how to play football, and don't panic.
Holding 27 on the offense. Personal foul. 74 on the defense. Penalties offset. Repeat the down. 2nd down.
Randy Hart, I mean, doing his thing. There's Kaleo. You want to see him get down. Boy, that's a nice hit. See, that's enough. You hit a quarterback, you shove him on the dashboard, but see, you don't need that. You're 300 pounds.
And the 3rd quarter with that penalty has come to an end. Through 3 quarters of play, the St. Louis Stampede leading the Milwaukee Mustangs 41-32. Back with the 4th quarter on the Deuce.
Good call, Coach. They needed that. Sometimes you need to kick him in the butt. Sometimes you need to hug him. Milwaukee needs a hug. They really do. They can get back and compete once again.
Doc, I go all the way back to the late field goal to end the first half, and it gave St. Louis the momentum. All of a sudden, Earl Bruce was the happy one in the locker room at halftime. Milwaukee was the frustrated team, and 14-6, St. Louis outscored Milwaukee in that 3rd quarter. It definitely belonged to the Stampede. Big hit, meeting Sevens at the 15-yard line. James in the face of Darrell Hammond.
I almost forgot about James. He had a blistering first couple of quarters. Now he's back, and it's good to lead on defense. Mustangs need a stop. They really do. And if you're with the Stampede, you can turn up the heat now. You hit a big play, you can pretty much control your destiny.
57 area, arena special. On 2, ready?
Arena special. And watch this one, folks. Keep your eye on the inside receiver.
Earl Bruce's favorite play.
In this case, Terrence Barber.
He's just sitting back and taking it in from the goal line. He says when it's run to perfection, it's unstoppable. And a big gainer there.
That's good. It really is, because it puts Barber in a position to do one of 3 things. And it reads all off the defense. If the defense settles back, he can run the corner. If they press him, he can run a curl or take it up. Terrence Barber, a great athlete. I mean, he's really just come on and developed real well. So he comes out of that break. Defender plays the middle of the field. He breaks it out.
We asked Coach yesterday, you know, if we're listening in and we hear arena special, well, what do you call the play? He says, arena special. Because I'm telling you, we'll tell everybody in the building we're going to run it. We run it effectively. Nobody can stop us. This time a quick hit to the far side. Ball was brought in by Marcus Badgett. He gets a gain of just a couple of yards on the play.
You used to always like those plays when it was one word or a symbol and you just knew what the whole play was. But you can't get away with that long because technology now and the way people scout and listen at you, you get in trouble. But it's a good read. Good fundamental read off the inside receiver.
Let's go. Mid lizard trips. 94 on quick. Ready?
Going back to the numbers again. Sometimes the 94 can be an outside, a go or a square in, 2 receiver side.
See, arena special I could understand.
Oh, I like that.
Kaleo. Oh, plenty of time. Now the pressure on. Kaleo looks, dumps it off, and it's in and out of the hands of the big fullback, number 42, Rick Wood.
See, we had an offensive lineman downfield. Whenever you see a quarterback scrambling that long, sometimes the big guys kind of drift downfield.
And a flag on the play at about the 11-yard line. And big number 98, Randy Hart, is pointing the way of the Stampede. Discussion between number 44, Chuck Hython, or pardon me, number 44, Conrad Lewis. And here's the call.
Ineligible downfield on the offense. Penalty is refused. 3rd down.
Now, my broadcast partner made the point that Kaleo looked like he had some time. You consider this time you'd be Kaleo. You'd be the quarterback now. Now he does. But at that point, I don't think so. That's like 104. Now he's chasing out. And it happens every time. One of the big guys will drift downfield.
Handles the bat exchange. Flags fly all over. The pass incomplete, and the hit laid by number 3, Kenny Harper, on the intended receiver, number 5, Terrence Barber.
Notice how Milwaukee started to initiate a little contact.
Yeah. Well, a great point you made. Sometimes you got to kick him in the butt. Sometimes you got to hug him. And so far from the big hug from the head coach, Milwaukee's responded defensively.
Yeah, and Will McClay, the defensive coordinator, he was really looking forward to
Illegal
this.
shift. 2 men moving on the offense. Penalty is refused. 4th down.
And they're not pushing them back. They're saying, come on at us. We'll stop you.
They really are. They're going to take it with aggression, and I like that. I think Will McClay's doing a good job.
39 yards and penalties. Too many penalties on Milwaukee. Field goal attempt by Tom Wheelahan. He has had a great performance tonight. From the 22-yard line, his own has made 25 and 30-yarders. Wheelahan's kick is up again. And it is good. Oh, the man has been splendid tonight. Tom Wheelahan out of the University of Missouri. 44-32 St. Louis. Up that 3rd field goal of the night by Chris Wheelahan was the effective pursuit of the arena special. So, Coach Bruce, what is it?
Arena special is where you take the outside 2 receivers and hook them up about 10 yards. Then you take that middle guy with all the speed and run them right at their best probably defender, and he's got to make a right turn, a left turn, or stop and catch the football. And that's a lot of pressure on a defensive back. You know the old adage, speed kills. In arena football, speed kills you because they're going to run away from you.
And Terrence Barber was the man on the arena special who made the reception. And a couple of costly penalties, but still, St. Louis comes away with 3 points. Wheelahan's kick through the end zone. It'll come back out to the 20-yard line.
It's been the only flaw in his game tonight. Other than that, I think he's headed towards the Wilson Most Valuable Player Award.
Well, he was tough in his days at Mizzou. Holds the Big 8 record. He had a 62-yard field goal in 1986 against Toronto. He gets the 37-yarder there, 7-play drive, resulting in 3 points for the Stampede, who have had plenty to cheer about as they push themselves a 12-point lead. But with 12:19 remaining, that is a very small lead. Somebody told me yesterday, Doc, compare it to basketball, because there's 12 minutes on the clock. A 12-point lead is nothing. John Kaleo mentioned that. In basketball, you got plenty of time to come back. Same story down on that field.
Mustangs did a good job. Hey, they held them to 3.
Now they look for 7 of their own. Simeon carry on the near side into St. Louis territory with another reception.
And this offense needs to score, and they need to score quick. And then you come back out and try to win it on defense.
Todd Hamill.
Left, wing over, wide high motion, 72, 50 stack, wide choice. On one, ready?
The number 5 passer in Arena Football League statistics so far this season. Number 1 just happens to be his counterpart tonight, John Kaleo. But Hamill will work from the 23-yard line. Kenny Harper in motion. Hamill looks near side. Fluttering pass is too short for Kerry Simeon, the intended receiver.
Good read, too, by Hamill. He really wanted to go at Harper, and Harper was covered very well. You know, one thing about Calvin Shakor has done a real good job. He got beat on the opening play when he fell down. Since then, man, he has really had the hammer, the mallet rather, on defense.
St. Louis, you see the past defensive numbers in the first 4 games, 237 yards a game. Doing a good job tonight against Todd Hamill in Milwaukee, but still 10 minutes plus remaining in the 4th quarter. Good rush in, quarterback hit, thrown towards the end zone, incomplete. Man, did Hammond get in the backfield in a hurry.
Yeah, he did. Boy, Calvin, he brought that mallet with him. He's a little gimpy. Boy, they can ill afford to lose his services right now. Take a little ground level look at it again. 21 here. Watch him right here on your screen. He's going to break on the ball. Now, he gets a hit. And what happens is that pretty good pressure inside, as you mentioned, by Hammond. Hammond, a young man who is leading the league in receptions, plays great at the weak linebacker spot.
You said it earlier. Earl Bruce considers him the most complete Arena League football player.
You know, he's a graduate assistant at Penn State, coaching the secondary.
We'll take the timeout as it's called on the field, and you get a look at number 7, Darrell Hammond. He and his teammates on the Stampede, lead by 12 in the 4th. Big decision here, 4th and 3 for Milwaukee. They trail by 12. It looks like they're going to go for it.
I'd go to that 50 series, 3-step drop, just bang it.
From the 23-yard line of the Stampede. Got the first down yardage and a bit more. Compton still untouched.
I don't think he went down.
He is in for the touchdown. They are signaling touchdown as he rolled over, was not down on the play, and on a 4th and 3, Milwaukee scores the 6.
Badgett went for the stop on the play. Boy, that was a gutsy call, but I mean, it's the only call you got to make. You're trailing. You want to get some momentum. Your defense is playing well. And we take a look at it, and Hamill drops back, rips it off. Boy, Compton, watch this. I mean, he is down, but nobody touches him. Puts the handstand. See, that was a belly tackle. You don't lock up with the arms, and you get a score.
3rd touchdown reception of the night for number 2, Gary Compton. In his 4th year, the number 5 receiver in the Arena Football League out of East Texas State. And the 2-point conversion attempt. And a flag before Todd Hamill able to run the play as the play clock, the 25-second play clock, ticked down to 0 one more time.
On the offense, number 5, 3-yard penalty. Repeat the try.
Now you move yourself a couple of yards out. Do you still go for the 2?
No, I think I'd get my regular offense in.
I think Michael Trigg thinks the same thing.
Snap. Ready?
Here comes Kenny Stucker.
Going to kick it.
Stucker's going to kick it and try to gain the 1 point and make this a 44-39 game.
Well, you've blown 2 opportunities so far.
Yeah, it's great.
Pretty soon, you know, you're 6 points down. You can't afford that.
And that was from, you know, the 2-yard line. That was halfway to the goal line. And he missed it anyway. And there you see the reaction of the head coach, Michael Trigg. Well, I'll tell you what, the 2-point conversions in that pretty much separate us tonight. The Stampede holding on to a 6-point lead. 2 2-point conversions failed. That kick failed. 6-point game could be a 1-point game, but nonetheless, 6-point game is nothing with still 9 minutes plus some change remaining. And it's good field position. Barber can't handle, and they'll work it out of the end zone on the kickoff from a man who has really struggled with this field goal kicking this year, Kenny Stucker, who has missed both tonight. And so really there have been opportunities for Milwaukee to put together some scoring drives. They come away with just 6 again on 4 plays, 30 yards, 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Gary Compton, his 4th touchdown of the contest.
Boy, he's been a mule.
Yeah, he has.
I mean, he's done it all. Now this defense has got to come through. You need a sack, an INT. You got to make some things happen. Or either, you know, Stampede really juice things up.
Kaleo, quick hitter to Barber. Barber works his way up to the 12-yard line as Harper was there to meet him.
If you make an offense settle for 3 in this game, you've really done a lot.
The St. Louis Stampede trying to go to 5-0. And that's why Michael Trigg said that it's such an important game tonight You get a look at the total yardage for St. Louis, 259, because it would be a 4-game advantage in the standings in just a 12-game season, as we would be nearly halfway through the season, working our way to week 6. And big difference between a 5-0 and a 1-4, obviously, but a 4-1 and a 2-3.
You want to sweep anybody in your division. I mean, that's the level of intimidation. Plus, I think football people recognize that Milwaukee has the ingredients. And sooner or later, they're going to catch fire. You want to get rid of them.
And based on last year, the toughest part of the schedule lies ahead for Earl Bruce's counterpart tonight on the Milwaukee sideline, because they go against Orlando and Arizona in the next couple of weeks to the Milwaukee Mustangs.
And that's rough.
3rd and 7, important play here for Kaleo. Kaleo dumps it over the middle. First down, yardage gained by Darrell Hammond.
Hammond's been a little quiet on the offensive side. I mentioned he's a graduate assistant at Penn State. You know, he's working on his graduate degree in turf science. George Toma is his idol. He wants to get into specializing in the grass, the turfs, and all things.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
interesting. A Cavalier spending some time up with the Nittany Lions.
Can you do that?
I think you can.
Okay.
He's doing it.
I mean, could you go hang out in Dallas?
Yeah.
Oh, you could. Now you could.
Well, it depends on how much money is involved.
Kaleo now works in another first down. The yardage gained by Terrence Barber. Well, you look at Badgett, Barber, some of the other offensive weapons, and you can start to realize, though, also, we talk about Milwaukee and their effectiveness, why this St. Louis team is so effective.
It takes players to be successful. Badgett, legit. Hammond's star, just like Barber. I mean, great athlete. Kaleo has his pick. And this offensive line, I mean, let's face it, they've done a real good job. He's had to scramble a couple of times, but he's got good wheels.
And a good gainer for the first down yardage now at the 19-yard line of Milwaukee. St. Louis leads by 6 with 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Chad Wiesling breaks the tackle, works inside the 5-yard line, forced out of bounds by Michael James.
Good call, Earl. That was a good call. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, what do you do at this point? Just about that time he's done it. Well, Chad has just earned it. He just carved out a little niche for himself. Big guys up front. Boy, that Billy Harris has really had a monster game.
They spotted at the 4-yard line as the clock continues to tick down. And John Kaleo looking to add on to this lead. The second half truly being owned by the Stampede of St. Louis. They go the same way, Wiesling, and he works his way for a gain of about 2 yards to the 2-yard line. It'll bring up a 2nd and goal situation.
What a hammer. Bruce Plummer comes up with a nice stick.
I mentioned earlier, part of the story, this is the guy that John Kaleo talked out of retirement. Chad Wiesling, his former teammate at Maryland. That is the Terrapin trio. Wiesling, Marcus Badgett, and John Kaleo said, you know what? He said it was a good thing for me, and I trusted him. I don't know why I trusted him, but we're 4-0, maybe 5-0. I'm having fun, so I'm glad I did. As he works his way towards the sideline, gets rammed into the side, just short of the goal line, and that'll bring up a 3rd and goal as Wiesling is the workhorse now, and Earl Bruce playing old Ohio State style football, keeping it on the ground.
He loves this, man. 3 yards, and they used to say, an Ohio, a cloud of dust. You know a little bit about that Ohio football.
No question about it.
Moeller High School, boy, back in, and you know that was big-time powerhouse in high school.
22 on quick, ready? Over there.
I love the dasher boards. Watch this. I mean, is that fun or what?
Receiving or taking the hit?
Watching.
3rd and goal.
No, watching.
Yeah, there you go. Watching indeed. Broken play and flags all over the place. And the touchdown probably won't hold as there was movement. And flags thrown with frequency on the 3rd and 1 play. The keeper by Kaleo.
It's all Kaleo. If it goes against the Mustangs, it's just all reaction on Kaleo.
We have illegal procedure on the offense. The tight end did not declare. We have offsides on the defense. Penalties offset. Repeat 3rd down.
Boy, look at the effort by Kaleo. And then you get a tight end that just doesn't identify himself and you lose. That's where you can't coach that. There's a kid that just reacts. He's a football player.
It brings up, most importantly, a 3rd and 1 situation once again. 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. 4:21 remains. And the clock ticking away. And Kaleo gives to his partner at Maryland, and Weisling is stood up. He did not cross the plane of the end zone.
Now that was a gutsy approach by the Mustangs. If they want to win, they're going to have to show it right now defensively.
We're up by 9 if we make this. We're up by 9 if we make this. Make what? We want to kick the field goal.
Yeah, Earl said, make what? We're kicking this field goal, man.
John Kaleo said before he's got aspirations of being a head coach. He helped to make that decision, didn't he?
Well, it's one thing to make a decision when you're pumped up with adrenaline. Sometimes you need a guy that's not so pumped up to make that call. You got a hot field goal kicker.
Yeah,
use it.
Up by 9 if they make it. So Wheelahan will kick from the 8.5-yard line. About a 18-yard field goal attempt. The chip shot up and good.
Boy, he's smoking tonight.
Wheelahan, the former Big 8 All-Star, has added to the St. Louis lead. It was basically John Kaleo's decision to kick the field goal. It pays off, gives St. Louis a 9-point lead. Head coach Kaleo made that call.
I like arena football a lot, and I understand it. And I think to be an excellent head coach in this league, you have to be a good innovator with, have a good offensive mind. And I feel that I have a good offensive mind. I've helped put in this offense with Earl. Earl and me have worked hand in hand. And I think it's within reason that I could be a head coach in this league, and in a few years, and I wouldn't mind doing it.
Well, he might get his opportunity, but if he keeps playing quarterback like he has this evening, really all this season, it'll be a little while before he becomes a head coach.
Well, he'd like to be at the MCI building, new arena that will be up in the nation's capital in 1997, where arena football was in the nation's capital, and I'm sure that there are a couple of groups that would like to see it come back.
And you saw the scoring drive capped off again by a field goal by Tom Wheelahan. And it's interesting when you look at the head coach across the field, a former quarterback, a former successful quarterback in Michael Trigg. So it is not above the reality of the fact that truly we could see a John Kaleo as a head coach someday in this league.
The thing I like about it, the same thing goes with Darryl Hammond. At least they have goals. They've set goals. They know what they want to do, and they're talking future, and that's good stuff.
I had a nice conversation with quarterback Kaleo yesterday, and he just loves the game, loves the environment, and loves to see big plays defensively by his teammate Ozzie Jackson there.
That's nice. Very nice. Jackson has that little bounce. This corner is very confident. I've been waiting for him to try to stretch it and get Simeon more involved in the deep passing game.
Becoming crunch time here for the Milwaukee Mustangs, hoping they will not fall to 1-4. Second season in the Arena Football League, opened 0-15 in their existence, 0-12 last year, 0-3 this year.
They get a score to stop in the field goal, they can win it.
In motion is number 2, Gary Compton. Compton has been the workhorse, and Compton receives the football again. Short of the first down, though, at about the 12-yard line.
He's been good. He's been very good.
Time becoming the enemy now. 2 minutes remaining.
Left, wide high motion, 73 bingo. On one, ready? 73 bingo, on one.
Clock ticking down to 1 minute and 50 seconds in this fourth quarter.
Go!
Hamill. Quick drop, finds Compton. Compton into St. Louis territory. Out of bounds at the 23-yard line. The clock continues to tick down with 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining in the contest.
I'd like to see Mullen get back involved in this offense. Don't forget, he's like a little sleeping weapon.
Compton breaking towards the end zone. First sack of the evening. No. What a job done by Todd Hamill, but he was pulled down backwards on his ankle, and Hamill's coming up with a limp.
Yeah, boy, that did not look good.
No, not at all.
Great courage, though. Boy, he hung in and got the completion out to Mullen. I had somewhat envisioned it being a little further downfield.
What an effort to avoid the sack.
It was. Both of these quarterbacks are real nifty, great competitors. See, boy, you see it happen so often. And guess who's in there? Number 7. Watch right at the bottom, the ankle, Darryl Hammond. I mean, he just makes plays for you. If he's not on the offensive side, he can do it defensively. And, you know, he says, I consider myself a defensive player, but I know I can get things done on the offensive side.
The all-time leading tackler, playing the last 4 years with the Albany Firebirds. 2 years collegiately at Virginia. It's been a little bit more offensive this year, but tonight it has been, as you mentioned, partner, his defense that has really been stellar. Hamill again, end zone, Compton, touchdown Milwaukee.
Boy, do they
Not
have
over.
a good thing going or what?
Now, we talk so much about the connection of Marcus Badgett and John Kaleo, but truly you have to be impressed with the efforts of number 2 Gary Compton and his quarterback Todd Hamill this evening.
I call Compton a mule because he just keeps working, man. He gets himself open. He makes plays. He's enthusiastic about it and has a lot of confidence. And he knows he's good, and he backs it up.
To make it a 2-point game. Kenny Stucker makes our score 47-45. Remember, the last one ended in fireworks 2 weeks ago. A 2-point game then. 54 seconds remains in the 4th on the deuce. Point game, 54 seconds remaining. We go all the way back to the first half from the 2.5-yard line, not once, but twice. Gary Compton and his teammates unable to convert on the 2-point conversion
Make it
attempt.
3 times with the missed PAT.
That's right.
Look at Compton. Look at these numbers, man. 12 receptions, 187 yards, and 5 scores. Those are career numbers, man, for an old tight end.
54 seconds left. You go for the trickery. You go for the onside kick here.
Oh, the onside kick is on that bar, those nets, because you still want a little field position. And I think if you get it up and get after them, you still have some time. The way he's been kicking, and a couple of them gone out of bounds, you know, maybe you do try to sneak one in.
And we'll find out right now. Kenny Stucker. He's going to boot it away, and it will be fielded at the back of the end zone. Good job staying in the end zone by Terrence Barber. Barber avoids one tackle, and he goes down at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, but you failed. You need to hit the bar. You know, the bar is your best friend in that instance, and he failed to do it.
Kaleo now wants to just be disciplined.
Hey, am I out?
Yeah, you be special.
Hey, let's go. The ball's coming. Let's go. Fly zoom right. 37. Oh. On quick. Ready?
It's their bread and butter, folks. You might as well call it all hitches.
Tight formation behind Todd Kaleo. Pardon me, John Kaleo. He gets it up, and the reception is made by Terrence Barber. And the timeout quickly called by Milwaukee.
Now defensively, Will McClay can say to himself, maybe I press and force the fade route and try to get the interception. Now the strategy really comes to the forefront.
So the clock stops on the timeout called by Milwaukee with 44 seconds remaining.
Left and throw it. Give him some room over there.
Okay.
Get some room. Get it out by the head. You got it? Right, left.
0.
30.
One first down almost does it.
Yep. Unless he comes up and bumps you, then take it by him.
Earl's in the huddle.
Let's go. Fly zoom lizard. 37. Oh. On 2. Ready?
Once again, folks, back to the all hitch, but if it's versus press, if Milwaukee comes up and press him, it wouldn't surprise me to see him run the fade.
Looser formation this time as they got away from their own goal line. Completion to Barber, and he has the first down yardage. Barber motioning that he had the first down. Had the big arena special earlier. As Milwaukee uses their second timeout with 40 seconds remaining.
First down, Stampede.
Not bad numbers. Don't forget, 50-yard field.
That's right.
That'd be good numbers outdoors. 50-yard field. What do you think about the Dasher boys? Remind you of the puck?
Yeah, a little bit, But I'll tell you what, I don't think you get dove into as much in hockey. I mean, these guys really, they put the head down and they get lower in the boards than the hockey hits. The hockey hits you take higher in your body.
Right. That's a good point.
But absolutely.
But you can get a straight hit. I mean, they hit the time things that make me cringe is those helmet shots right in the dashboard.
But the same principle as, you know, being a player, Doc, you let the body take the shock. And even in the open field, you try to let the body take the shock a little bit. But that's what you were always taught as a hockey player when you got on the boards. If you tried to fight it, you were in trouble. Let the body take the shock on the dasher boards. And St. Louis looking to get another first down. They got the first down yardage, 1st and 10. They stay on the ground with the safe play, and the ball carrier is Rick Wood.
And off to number 42, Rick Wood.
Now they've choked out the timeouts.
Yep. And now 1 first down should bring this game to an end and take the St. Louis Stampede to 5-0. Just one of 3 undefeated teams as we started week 5 in the Arena Football League. Tampa Bay, Arizona, and St. Louis all undefeated to start this 1995 season.
Quite a contrast from the first time these two clubs met, but you have to look at this as improvement on the side of Milwaukee. I mean, offensively, they scored just about every time they had the football. The defense, I think, is grossly improved. And the Stampede will be fortunate